The last stop. Evan boarded the midnight bus as he always did after his late shift at the diner. It was the cheapest way home, though the dim lighting and rattling engine always made the ride unsettling. Tonight, however, something felt different. The driver was a shadowy figure, his face obscured by a wide-brimmed hat that cast an unnatural shadow over his features. Evan hesitated but stepped on board, dropping his coins into the slot. The driver didn't acknowledge him, just gave a faint nod. The bus was almost empty except for a woman sitting in the back, her head bowed and her long hair hiding her face. Evan sat a few rows away, as far from her as possible, and pulled his hood over his head, hoping to nap. As the bus rumbled through the dark, empty streets, Evan noticed something strange. They weren't stopping at any of the usual stops. "Hey," he called to the driver, "you missed my stop back there." The driver didn't respond. The bus kept going, the city lights fading until they were swallowed by complete darkness. Panic crept into Evan's chest. He stood and made his way to the front, gripping the poles as the bus swayed unnaturally on the road. "Where are we going?" he demanded, louder this time. The driver turned his head slightly, just enough for Evan to see his face, or the lack of one.
Beneath the brim of the hat was nothing but a void, blacker than the night outside. Evan stumbled back, his breath catching in his throat. Behind him, a soft laugh echoed. He spun around to see the woman in the back row. She was standing now, her face still hidden by her hair. "You shouldn't have gotten on," she said in a voice that was both a whisper and a scream. The bus jolted violently, throwing Evan into a seat. When he looked back at the woman, her hair had parted. Her face was pale, her eyes hollow sockets that bled darkness. Evan scrambled for the emergency door, but it wouldn't budge. The bus began to fill with a low, guttural hum, the sound of voices chanting in a language he didn't understand. The windows showed nothing but swirling shadows, shapes twisting and writhing like something alive. He turned to the woman again. She was closer now, her skeletal hand reaching for him. "It's the last stop," she said, her mouth twisting into an unnatural grin. Evan screamed as her hand touched his chest, a freezing sensation spreading through his body. His vision blurred, the world dissolving into darkness. When the bus finally stopped, it was empty. The driver adjusted his hat and opened the door, letting in the next passenger. No one ever saw Evan again.
There is nothing we can't make scary.